Guys, it's Izzy here, and today we are going to be looking at my September TBR. We're back to doing like official TBRs because summer is over and fall has come back to the fall's Disney Channel reference. It is spooky season now. I don't decorate for Halloween till the end of the month, but I do have my fall decorations up, so I wanted to just get into that mood. So we are focusing on reading thrillers in the month of September. So let's see what books I chose. Let's get into it. The first book I have to show you, I got in a Shakespeare and Company package. This came all the way from Paris, so it's in their subscription box. So this is one I would have probably never heard of if I had not gotten it in that package. And look how, oh, we have things falling out. Look how cool this cover is. This is just so unique for a thriller. I don't know if this is translated or not. I'm not seeing anywhere that it is, but this was first published in 1959, quite a while ago. And let's actually read what Soya, who did the recommendation, said. So this 1950s novel by Soya Fremlin, oh, that's so cool, they have the same first name, but is a slow-burning but thrilling read. Sisters Meg and Isabel are joined on their seaside holiday by their older half-sister Mildred. They were just girls when Mildred married Uncle Paul, the handsome, mysterious man who suddenly disappeared from their lives after his murderous past was unearthed. Now due to be released from prison, the women are fraught with suspicion and fear as they wonder whether Paul will return to take his revenge and on whom. I think since it is when they are on like a seaside vacation, this is a great book to start September out with, because here in South Carolina it is still in the high 80s, which to me is the perfect weather, but I know for a lot of people that's not fall. This is a great transitional piece going from summer to fall, as we are going to have a bit of a summery location. Next, we have my buddy read of the month. So if you guys would like to pick up this book as well, feel free to do so. I'm gonna have vlogs dedicated to as many of these books as I can. This one is going to be the buddy read that I'm reading with a friend, and y'all are free to join in and leave comments on the vlog because it's so much fun to read a book with somebody. I usually tend to enjoy a book more if I have somebody to discuss it with, and that's a great thing about these YouTube videos, about the vlogs, is that I get to discuss what I am reading, and sometimes some of y'all have read those books and leave comments down below. And back when I was first getting into reading again, back in like 2018, I would look up videos about a book that I had just finished, because none of my friends really read the same kind of books that I read. I was, you know, have to rely on social media. This is a great outlet for people. The buddy read this month is going to be The Alienist by Caleb Carr. Yes, I'm going to be reading this in this mass market paperback, which is kind of scary, but I'm going to do it. And I do know there is a TV show with, is it one of the Fannans who's on it? This is a historical like thriller mystery. I'm seeing there's a description anywhere. Murders in New York back in, you know, a long time ago. Yeah, I'm not seeing a description, so I am pretty much going into this blind. It takes place, oh, okay, I said the 1800s, but in 1919. And I like that time period. World War I, y'all know, is one of my favorite things to study about. I know this isn't directly World War I, but it is in that time period, and obviously we're probably going to see the repercussions of the war in this book. Now we have a book that I got as a gift a few years ago, and tell me this cover does not scream fall. Look at that. This is The Haunting of Henry Twist by Rebecca F. John. This is Costa First Novel Award 2017 shortlist. I don't really know what that is, and I have not heard of this publisher, so I don't know if this is indie published or not, but it came all the way from the UK. Let's see. So this is in London in 1926, so hopefully I don't make the mistake that I did with my reading last month of wanting to read books that take place in the in-between war years for that setting. Hopefully this one lives up and is actually a good book. We're in London, 1926. The shock of the First World War has given way to excess and debauchery, a playground for the bright young things. On the edges are Henry and Ruby Twist, newly married with a baby on the way. Henry is both terrified of and irresistibly drawn to Jack. Why does this man seem so familiar, so magnetic? Why has he come to Henry under such strange circumstance? Could he be offering Henry a life to replace the one he lost when Ruby died? I think that guy is going to have something to do with Ruby's death. I don't know if he will, but that's my theory that I'm leaving here for y'all. And when I do my vlog on this book, we'll have to see if it comes true or not. I've only said I'm not a true crime girly, but there are some cases here and there that really piqued my interest. And one of those was the Long Island serial killer, who they since have caught the guy. But I got this book before that had happened. But this book and book series, I think it's a duology. Yeah, I bought the second book because that's what it was about, and I didn't know it was the second book. And then I was like, oh, now I have to read the first book, and I'm going to be reading the first book now. There is a Netflix series on this, but it is based, as I said, on those Long Island serial killer cases. That is Pieces of Her by Karen Slaughter. So this will be my first Karen Slaughter book. This is really thick, but with thrillers, I've read 5-star thrillers that are this long, aka You by Caroline Kepnes. And that also has a, is it Netflix? Yeah, Netflix, but I think it was on TV before that, but I could be wrong. This is Andrea knows everything about her mother, Laura. She knows Laura has spent nearly her whole life in a small beachside town of Belle Isle, Georgia. She knows Laura's a beloved speech pathologist who knows Laura's never kept a secret in her life. Andrea knows that Laura is everything. She isn't confident, settled, sure of herself. Feeling listless with no direction, Andrea, unlike Laura, struggles to find her way. Okay, how many times did I have to say that woman's name? To save her mother, Andrea embarks on a desperate journey following the breadcrumb trail of her mother's past. Andrea knows that if she can't uncover the secrets hidden there, there may be no future for her mother or her. In July, I read another book by this author, and it was the most predictable thriller I've ever read, but I've heard better things about this book that I'm choosing, and that is The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. Looks more of a winter read. We're doing it. We are doing it. I've had this on my TBR for quite some time with my old bookshelves. You probably used to see it in the background. This one, it's, so all her summaries must be like that. During the languid days of the Christmas break, a group of 30-something friends from Oxford, so you might get some dark academia vibes, meet to welcome in the new year together. A tradition they began as students 10 years ago. For this vacation, they've chosen an idyllic and isolated estate in the Scottish Highlands. The perfect place to get away and unwind by themselves. So this one I definitely chose because of the Scottish Highlands settings. That's my dream trip. 2 days later, on New Year's Day, one of them is dead. Now one of them is dead and another one of them did it. It's gonna be like where you're in, they're all in this estate and they know somebody is the killer. I'm like, what do you do with the dead body? I don't know. I have a lot of questions going into this. And that's always great. Hopefully I do get answers for them. Wanting to read more nonfiction. And this month I did add one nonfiction book to my TBR, and that is one I got at a used bookstore, and that is Founding Mothers, The Women Who Raised Our Nation by Cookie Roberts. This really goes into the women behind the men, whether it be wives, mothers, sisters of the founding fathers of the United States. And I think that's important because I think a lot of times in history, these women go forgotten when these men wouldn't be the men that they were without these women involved. Lastly, I do want to add more graphic novels to my TBRs as well, so I did add one this month, and this is one that I have been putting off forever because I just didn't really read any graphic novels last year. I'm not really scared that I'm going to be lost because this is a graphic novel series based on a book series that is right over there that I've already read, and also a TV show that I've watched about 8 times. I know. Obsessed. And that is The Clash of Kings Volume 2 by George R. R. Martin, adapted by Landry Q. Walker and art by Mel Ruby. This is a Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones graphic novel. I have a lot of fun with these because this is my all-time favorite series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way through, leave a leaf emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye! If you are familiar with my videos, you're used to seeing Sherman at the end of them. Sadly, Sherman has since passed away, but I would still like to encourage you guys to help your local shelters. Sherman was at the Darlington County Humane Society in rural South Carolina. I always have their link down below in the description if you guys would like to help them, but also help your local shelters as well. You can do that by donating, sharing posts like this one, volunteering, fostering, and adopting, which it's great to do all of those things. Great to help your community, great to help the animals in your community, and I cannot recommend it enough. All of my pets were rescues, they were strays or from animal shelters, and I love them so much, and I know how much love they can give, so knowing these pets at the shelter can equally give that much love, it's amazing. And y'all should totally take part and help out those local animal shelter pets, and please help them.